The Real Love, the Real Talk podcast. I'm Saladin, and I'm 16 years old.
I'm Ayani, and I'm 17 years old. Today, we'll be talking about how to get over a breakup.
One of the things that we would recommend to initially getting over a breakup would be just working on yourself. Usually, whenever you break up, don't go off and blame yourself, but don't think you are perfect, that it's the other person's fault entirely. Breaking up is a two-way street. There's some faults on one side and some faults on another.
Yeah, I agree. I think breaking on yourself is probably one of the best options because usually in a relationship, you lose yourself with that one person. So going out and finding who you are will make you stronger in that kind of sense.
And I want to talk more on that losing yourself kind of thing. Do you, whenever you're in a relationship, feel like you lose your sense of self?
I think I do. I think that I want to be with my partner, so I will do things that they like, do things that make them happy, but little do I know that's not me, that's them.
Nah, that's fair. For me, it's sort of the same, but it really depends. When I'm with them, that's when I primarily lose that feeling of sense of self. But whenever I'm alone or with some friends, it sort of comes back a little bit. Start feeling like the person I was before that relationship. Feel me?
Mm-hmm. I think it's because you're with them 24/7. Whether that's on the phone, probably in school or something like that, or even outside of school, when you're just hanging out by yourself, you slowly start to be a different person, somebody you don't recognize.
It's how do I put it? It's being in that relationship, instead of being one, you become two in a sense. You're merging with another in a sense.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I think I get that.
What's another way you can get over a breakup?
I think traveling too. Going out and seeing the world, I think that's something that is so I think that's something that is really good for you, especially mentally.
Well, where would you travel?
If I had the money, I'd go to France.
France? Probably go to Venice, somewhere, probably Europe in general.
Yeah.
It's just not the touristy places, more where people actually live, experience their life, something like that. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, but honestly, something like the beach too, that could really clear your mind. If you're really thinking about something and you're really overthinking a relationship and you just go out and get that fresh air, I think that could really make you feel better.
I think nature in general, though. Sitting in a park or sitting by water, it's some calming vibe to it, that just really sets you down and resets your soul. Get me?
Yeah.
But me personally, I think the best way to get over a breakup would be distracting yourself. For the first part, just distracting yourself. Because when you first break up, all this wave of emotion is going to come at you really hard, too. And it's all that emotion is going to make you think bad, make you think negative things, or make you feel as if you're less than, or influence your thoughts in a negative way. And I think distracting yourself would prevent that. Me personally, I play a lot of video games. Ooh, I put in some hours, bro. It's bad. But it's when that breakup first happened, I felt so much and felt so overwhelmed that I decided to just put all of it to the side for now and just try to find something to enjoy.
I agree, but I think that there's ways you can distract yourself that are not negative. There's so many things that you can do that can impact you in a positive way besides a negative way. Usually when people break up, they're like, oh, then I'll go talk to this person or I'll go talk to this person. But I think that you need to put yourself first when you're trying to distract yourself. Don't move too fast. It's okay to be sad. That's okay. So I think just use positive ways to distract yourself.
Things to help build yourself up in a sense.
Exactly.
Probably your schoolwork, or probably if you have a job, focusing on that, trying to get better at it. Especially for older people, where trying to get promoted or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's preventing all that negative stuff. Feel me? It's a great way.
And I think another way is to just be yourself and not let this one relationship get you, because even though in the moment it might feel really, like, it might crush you. Like, it might hurt your soul a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel
But
you.
especially since we're all so young, I think that we really have more time to grow. And we are still finding ourselves. So not letting this one thing get us so down. I think that we should go out and we should really like be ourselves and be who we truly are, because at the end of the day, like, we only have ourselves. So
Fair enough. Yeah. I got a question. What has helped you the most? I've said mine, but what has helped you the most?
I think finding hobbies, or honestly, getting that bread.
Hey man, money comes first. Money comes
I know.
first.
Since I started my job, I think that also ties in with distraction. I think being able to buy myself the things I want, and I think that really makes me happy.
Like replacing that negative with something positive is what I'm hearing.
That's
like,
basically it.
I do the same.
Having the things that I want, the things that I need. Like, that just makes me happy. I don't know, that money.
But I tell you,
The money talks.
Online shopping finna be the death of me, bro. It's gonna kill me one of these days. But it's finding things that make you happy while not hurting yourself probably would be the best way. Like online shopping, I don't love doing it, but like I like buying things that benefit me. Like I buy little keychains off of shows I watch. I have them on me right now, matter of fact. I buy little keychains of shows I watch and stuff like that. But it's a lot of money going out. Like more money that comes in and more of it's going out. But I think something positive that can make you feel good would be like writing down your thoughts. Like poem. Me personally, I love writing a good poem. It'd be great sometimes. Just like putting my ideas in a figurative way without me having any concrete thoughts in it. Or like, what's another positive way? Maybe playing a sport, exercise, or something like that. That makes you feel good and also builds you up in the same way.
Yeah, speaking of, even if you're not like a big writer, I think listening to music also is one of the best ways. Because, I don't know, I love having songs that relate to like everything I'm going through. Yeah, so I have playlists. I have playlists of each of my moods. And I like read the lyrics and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's me.
I can't blame you. I did the same thing. But on the other hand, I think you got to think about how some negative music could really be digging a deeper hole, you know? Or could channel all that negativity into something more negative. Like, I like Future. I'm not going to hold you. He be trashing women. Sometimes you gonna be crazy. It hurts my soul sometimes. Like, damn. He really be relentless with it sometimes. But it's more like music that helps you feel good without channeling that negative into something a little bit more negative. Without digging a deeper hole or digging a new deep hole. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think teens know what steps to take?
No, I'm not going to. I think something like this is experience based, because what works for one might not work for another. Like some of my friends, they've told me things that did not work for me at all. It made me feel worse, man. Not worse, but it didn't make me feel any good at all. And so I started doing what I felt like would be best for me, and then I started experimenting, and then found what really did feel nice. And I started every single time something happened to me. Every single time I felt overwhelmed or some form of negativity, I would go back to those, and then it helped me reset, helped me get better. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that everyone's pace is different, especially that. So to expect somebody to get over something like that, to expect somebody to get over something like so quickly, I think that's ignorant. You know, I think everybody has their own like pace, but I feel like you are allowed to give people steps, and whether they do or do not follow them, that's okay, because what works for you is not going to work for anybody else.
Yeah, no. I want to also like touch upon how each person's journey in something like this, it may be shorter or longer than the person next to them, but never it's not a competition. It's more of an explorer's path, like a treasure map, you feel me?
Exactly.
You following a certain path until you get to that treasure, or finding yourself again. Feel me?
How do you figure out how to figure? Oh my god, sorry. How do you figure out your dislikes and dislikes for your next relationship?
It's more of things that I've grown up with that I don't like at all. Even with friends and stuff like that, there's some things that I would just naturally dislike, and I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't want those in my next relationship. There are things that I've learned from my relationship that I would like. What would be an example? Like something I would dislike is constant, just random ghosting. You feel me? Just randomly dropping off the face of the earth, not nothing, saying I'm busy or just for weeks at a time, just nothing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that in one relationship, the things that you don't like, you should not take to the next. No matter how long you've been with the last person, I feel like once you get into a new relationship, it should be like a clean, like, slate. And once you start seeing that the next person might not be respecting your boundaries or the things you don't like, I think you should take a step back, you know? And yeah, because if you take the things that you did in your past relationship and bring them to the next, it's not going to work out well.
I feel you. And one thing I want to touch upon is the idea of from one relationship to the next, not carrying that baggage. Problems you had in one relationship, don't project that onto the next one, expecting that to happen, or as soon as like a hint of it showing up, start like acting different. You should be, if your boundaries are being pushed upon from that, if boundaries are being pushed upon that was from one relationship to the next, you should have a conversation instead of just backing off, talk. Because some people might be doing things unconsciously and they don't know about it and they don't mean to do it.
And I think with that, to be able to move on to the next relationship, you need to have inner peace within yourself. To know that you won't make the same mistakes in the last relationship, or to know that you won't put yourself through what you did in the or what the person did to you in the past, and to know your self-worth. I think that will be like the best in a breakup, because if you think it's not your fault, right? If somebody breaks up with you because they don't think the relationship works, it obviously, like most of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with you. I think that to find yourself is to find peace, and I think that will only make you like a stronger person and will make your relationships better in the next relationships. Mm-hmm. Or even maybe a relationship isn't what you need. Maybe you need something else.
Alone time, you know?
Yeah.
And I just want to like end that off with, you can only find happiness within yourself. Looking for happiness within another is only going to leave you with feeling worse and worse and worse once you can't get that happiness from another. Mm-hmm. You can only find that within yourself.
Yeah, and I think that it's nobody's place to have that job of making you happy or keeping you happy. I think that's something that you need to do yourself, because if you can't love yourself, then who's going to love you, you know?
Exactly. And to end that off with this, please look out for the next episode of Real Love, Real Talk. Visit us at startstrongboston.org for more information.
How do different races / backgrounds cope with breakups?
I think from race to race, probably like the different teachings they had growing up. I know for a fact a black father wouldn't teach their son the same thing as a white father. They'll be like, how do I put it? Black children, because of like the things that they taught from their like black fathers, like especially me, they would like try to care less in a sense, even though they probably care a lot. Yeah. They try to show it less or act like they don't care. Mm-hmm. And it's probably really damaging inside.
Yeah, probably from a woman's point of view, I know that Hispanic moms, they are really like, you shouldn't care, like you shouldn't dwell on this. They really try to uphold that strong woman kind of thing, and that you don't really need a man or somebody. You just need to have your family. I think that's what it is, mostly.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, bro. Do you remain friends after a breakup? What do you think?
No.
Yeah.
I think that being friends with your ex-partner, I think that can lead to many, many bad situations. A lot of toxicness and jealousness from the other party, because that's your ex-boyfriend or partner. You don't want to see them with anybody else. You don't want to see them talking to anybody else, you know? It's not good, but as humans, that's just the emotions that we have.
And still having that connection could prevent you from moving on in the first place. So there's like cases where some people can't stay friends, but majority, I would say,
Yeah, I think that even if they're still friends, majority of the time, they're not really friends.
Don't hit me, please.
Do you keep following on social? No. Why do you think?
Because you're going to be more inclined to be checking what they doing and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, it's bad.
Yeah, I think that you'll want to stalk them more. And even if you see them hanging out with you, I think, or hanging out with somebody else, you're going to get that FOMO, you know? The feeling
Like,
of missing
that
out.
could have been me,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot.
Kobe.
The last and final one. How do different genders, guys and girls, cope with breakups?
Ooh, I know that for girls, obviously everybody copes differently, but as society's views, I think that they make it out. The girl dwells. She dwells on this relationship, like she can't get over it. She's crying all the time. She can't get out of bed and something like that.
For guys, like, stereotypically, or like in general, like the idea would be, they can go on to the next girl. It's more like they can just replace them whenever they want. It's a little bit insane. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit insane.
Yeah.
But that's like really what the prime idea is. They don't care. They're stoic about it. They're nonchalant about it, and they can just move on and get a different girl whenever they want.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true, as most stereotypes are. I think that it can be both sides from both different genders. I think it's everybody grieves in a different way, basically.
Yeah, each person is different from even in races, no matter what's thought.
I think race, gender, doesn't matter. I think everybody's going to cope in a different way.
Yeah, I agree.
Liar. You said last one. How to cope with emotions post-breakup?
Want me to start or you start?
You start.
I think just channel those like pent up or like overwhelming negative emotions into something positive or like something more better for your body and better for your soul. Like a lot of people, like some of my friends, they said they channeled all their energy into like sports. Some of my friends they played basketball way more than they did. Some of my other friends played video games way more. Some of my other friends just do themselves at schoolwork. It's just they found some way to channel that stuff positively.
I think surrounding yourself with people and things that make you happy, like your friends and your family. Your friends and your family, they're always going to be there for you. You're not going to break up with them. Yeah, hopefully. So I think that is something that is important. Going out, truly finding who you are without that person or obviously without that thing that might have been holding you back in the first place.
Yep. I think also one thing you should definitely not do is make decisions around that time. Like, because when you're sad, you probably don't make the greatest decisions or like have the greatest thoughts in your head. So making decisions without the greatest thoughts in your head could leave you pretty messed up.
One more. Oh. Looks like we have one more.
Read it. I'm so curious. What is it?
What is the difference between friendship breakups and romantic ones?
Normally, I would say the amount of like weight or like the amount of like past behind it or like the amount of emotions behind it. Because a romantic breakup, not only do you have all those positive emotions, you all have those romantic emotions along with those. But friendship breakups could be equally as painful because friends for 10 years, and then y'all stop talking to each other and stop being friends. That's probably pretty damning.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the difference is probably like, actually, I don't know.
Like, would you say the difference is like what type of emotions are involved?
Yeah, I think that is the case, obviously, I think both of them are gonna hurt. Like, but I think with a partner, you have a friend and like a romantic partner. And with a friendship, you just have a friend. So the breaking up with your partner is like breaking up with both of those things.
Mm-hmm. And also, I would say breaking up with a friend feels easier, I guess, because with a romantic partner, you're more likely to put up with more things because you really don't want to lose that romantic connection. While with friends, that you don't have that romantic connection. You have to just, depending on how long you've known them too, you would be more inclined to like, they start doing something that you don't really like, so you start stepping back, start pushing off away from them, something like that.
Yeah.